We're just two gents out here, Steve, trying to do the best that we can and make the world a better place. And, as human beings, as business owners, we're always forced to make a decision, right? There's always some sort of decision to make. But traditionally, there's always boxes. There's this decision, and you got to outweigh that. But really, there's more than just those two. It's not binary. There's so many different options and so many ways we can create an optimal solution. And I just want to ask you, Steve, someone who really is passionate about that, what's that conversation look like around finding that optimal solution and not being stuck with only two options?
Yeah, and that is exactly it. That is my passion area because that's what we see it everywhere. We see it not just in the political world, we see it everywhere. This polarized nature of it's you're in or out, it's black or white, it's this or that. And that's very frustrating. And like you said, I think we need to transition ourselves from this idea of polarized decision making into optimal solutioning. Because the reason that most issues are contentious or that there's disagreement is because they're hard. They're hard issues. There are disagreements because there are different perspectives. There are different ways to look at that. And I think we need to move that one level higher. We need to move from just saying, here's how we think it should be done, to what are we actually trying to do? What's the vision? What's the purpose? What's the goal? And I think as we do that, we realize that we're actually on the same team more often than not. You can use the political world for sure. There's a certain issue. We just make a stand. We say, nope, it's this, or we say, nope, it's this. But at the end of the day, both parties hopefully are motivated by trying to make our society a better place. And I think let's talk about that. Let's talk about what we're both trying to do. Let's agree there, and then let's decide how to do it from there. And I think I'm really such a believer in finding the optimal solution because it's somewhere between those two things. But that requires compromise, that requires give and take, that requires creative solutioning, and that's not something everybody wants to do. And so we have to find those folks that are willing to do it. I think a lot about so let's say you're baking a pizza, right? What's the best thing to do? Should we put it in at 600 degrees for 2 minutes, or should we cook it at 150 degrees for an hour? What's the best solution? And I think what we do in our society is we stand in that. We say, no, it's 600 for 2 minutes. No, it's 150 for an hour. And we just stand there. We don't realize that, let's work together. We might find that actually the Jack's high rise pizza, 425 for 18 minutes is perfect. But that means some of us need to lower the temperature. Some of us need to increase the time. Those are the conversations that we need to have. And so I'm really passionate about that. I'm getting more and more involved in different things where we start looking for optimal solutions rather than fighting each other on which one of these endpoints is right. And so I think that's where it needs to start, though. What's our vision? What are we ultimately trying to do? What can we agree on? Where's the common ground? Where's the shared vision? And I think we start there. But I want to know from other people, how do we do this? How are you doing it? Where are you seeing that happen? Because I want to learn from that because I want to see us start being more optimal as a community, as a society, and as a world.